me get this thing right. Look at this right here. I like this image better than the other ones I had. This is better. Here's what I'm trying to do, folks. And some of you good people out there, you guys have been around me for years watching my videos. I'm getting ready to buy another gardening tool. That's the name of this video. And what I'm buying is a Chevy Tahoe. And the reason why I'm buying a Chevy Tahoe because I mentioned it in my car accident I had uh, been injured in. Um, the the car was totaled out completely. I mean, they had to cut me out of the car. I think I mentioned that in one of my other videos. Um, I was seriously hurt and spent like almost a year in the hospital. However, I'm still in the midst of recovering right now. I'm doing well. Still using the old cane, and I'm off of the walker. And what else? Oh, the wheelchair. God, I hated that because um, people had to push me around different places because I wasn't real good with it. Shoulder kept getting tired because I had this shoulder broke, and and uh, and the hip was broke. So at any rate, I need another garden vehicle to help me bring items home. Because sometimes I find really great sales when I'm out there shopping around, and to use my town car right now it's dirty and it needs to be cleaned and everything. And I hate treating it like that because it's a to me it's a luxury car. It should be treated it should say clean and waxed and perfect all the time. I mean, I got some pretty white walls on it, but it's not a garden vehicle per se. Um, but I have used it to bring certain things home. Yeah, I did. Yeah, but I wouldn't work it like I would a truck. But anyway, the vehicle I looked at was a Chevy Tahoe. It's a 2012. Yes, it's an older vehicle, but there's a reason for that. I like older vehicles. Older vehicles are cheaper to work on, and I much rather have a car that I can work on because my understanding is this: some of the vehicles, excuse me, dry this from this heat in here. Um, what happens is when you buy a car that's really a complex vehicle and it's got turbos and overdrive and all that stuff on it, you try to work on one of them, and everything under the hood is real tight together. You're not working on that. You're basically going to take it to someone, and they're going to spend days working on it, and they're going to charge you accordingly. But like my town car, when I work on it, I can work on it. A lot of it's simple, but some of it's complex because all the computerized stuff in the car. But the Chevy Tahoe, I've been researching that since at first I said, well, I'll get another car, and I was going to get crazy enough. I was thinking about a Cadillac, and then when I looked at the Cadillac and I looked at how complex even trying to operate that vehicle would be, figuring out all the stuff on the dash and figure out all the stuff on the seats and power seats and seats that have memory and all of this stuff that I don't want all that. I don't want that and not be able to have to open up a book to learn how to operate it. But anyway, the Chevy Tahoe, big beautiful vehicle. It's got a good track record, and that is important to me. The Cadillac, on the other end, had a whole lot of um, issues with things that I've researched in the transmission, timing chain, things like that are going to cost you thousands. Even to change the headlights on the Cadillac, if one blows out, and you take it to a dealership, you got to take almost the whole front end apart at some places, the whole front end apart just to put the headlight back in, and that's going to cost you. It might cost you a little, it might cost you a lot, but it will cost you. Now the town car, I had to go to someone, my neighbor. I like to call him family though. He's actually family. Uh, and he he put my headlights in like no time because I couldn't reach my hand in there. I didn't know how to do it. He'd been doing that for years, and he put the headlights in there. And I tried to buy the headlights at one place. I said, I need the headlights for my town car. And they said, well, what do you want, two or just one? I said, well, I just want. I said, well, how much are they first? She said, oh, one side is $17 for the bulb. I said, no, I don't think I want to do that. Thank you anyway. I left there and I said, Napoleon, what do you usually do? I go on a place called Rock Auto, and I got both bulbs for $10. That's shipped to me as well, and that's both bulbs. And I got them put in. He put them in, and I haven't had any trouble from it since. So now I'm getting the Chevy Tahoe 2012. I like the body style of it. I like all the little fun things about it. Um, but driving it, I'm understanding is a very comfortable ride. Um, and that's my deal. And I want to figure out. See, I never bought a car from a dealership before. I've always bought them from auctions, and I bought them from people who owned them, in the neighborhood or whatever. That's where I bought my cars from. Does anyone out there know what's the correct formula, if you will, for buying a car from a dealership? Because here's what I'm thinking of. The car that was totaled, the car that was totaled is still sitting in probably a salvage yard somewhere, and my tags are still on it. And they said I can't come there and get the tags. I don't know why. They said you can get the whole vehicle. The car's totaled out. They want over $3,000 for a car that looks like a folded up piece of aluminum foil. And I don't want to. Oh, hello, Miss Sue. How you doing? I don't want to pay 3,500 to get a car back that's completely totaled. And the only thing that might be good on the car now is the tires. So I don't want to go through that. But they said what's the place called? My insurance company. They say, yeah, it's been a year ago, but you're still paying for that car. I said, I'm still paying for it. They say, yeah, your car's still being paid for. It's sitting in a salvage yard, but tags are on it. If you take the insurance off, the Park Motor Vehicle is going to charge you for it not having insurance on it because the tags are still there. And I'm saying, wait a minute. I said, something's wrong here. And so now the car is totally screwed. It's costing me, and it's sitting in the salvage yard. A year later, the car is still sitting in the salvage yard, costing me. So I got to figure that out. Oh, I want to say this too. I missed the car because the car was pretty nice. It was a Jeep Liberty, small vehicle, and it did its job. But now I'm getting a much larger vehicle, and so I'm looking at I got to find out how much insurance going to cost on me. I only want to get liability. I don't want total full coverage. But they saying if I take out a loan and get the vehicle, it'll have to have full coverage. Is that true? Um, and so that's going to cost me more until I get the vehicle paid off. The vehicle will be paid off very soon. But for right now, the weather getting ready to get bad here in Maryland. I got a vehicle out there that's rear wheel drive, and my understanding is it's not very safe to drive a car around that is rear wheel drive in the snow and stuff. I don't want to do that. So I'm trying to get this vehicle before the weather actually starts acting up. But I got to go out. It's like the guy said the place is an hour and a half away where I got to go buy the vehicle. Now, how do you get there if you don't have a vehicle to get there? I don't want to drive up there because I'm going to drive the other car back. And then I got to figure out, if I can get the car towed by my AAA and get them tow the car back and drop it in my driveway. And then when I buy the vehicle, that means I got to go up there anyway because I believe there's paperwork and that sort of thing got to be filled out when you are purchasing a vehicle, loan papers, and then them to try to sell you all kind of other stuff that goes with the vehicle. I don't want all the other stuff. I don't want their warranties. Uh, let's see, not sure you are liable for the year free for the salvage yard as a lawyer. Um, yeah, I see what you're saying, Miss Miller. You're right because I kept thinking, why am I still paying for this vehicle? Because I was on the phone with the insurance company. Wait a minute, yeah, the insurance company, and they said we haven't heard from your lawyer. We have not heard. So right now, yes, you're still being charged for the vehicle sitting in the yard with the tags on it, and it's still insured and everything. And I said, but y'all already know the date of the accident when it happened that the car was totaled. You knew that. So why are you charging me for a car that's sitting in a salvage yard? What are you afraid I'm gonna get it out there and drive it with half the car missing? Half the car missing because it is. You should see it. It don't even look like anything like my Jeep anymore. But so I got to figure all this out and put it together into a plan because the shop owner of the car I want to get says, I'll call you Monday. I'm gonna take some additional pictures of the car. I said I want pictures of the underneath of the car because I said my biggest thing is rust. I don't want a rusty vehicle. I don't want a vehicle that's leaking oil and transmission fluid and all that. I don't want that. I don't want that. I'm not interested if those are the issues. But I told him I don't want to also come up there all the way an hour and a half away and then go, oh, I can't take this, and then have to come back. So, that's where I'm at right now. Everything's kind of up in the air. And like I said, I've never bought a car from a dealership before. And this is my car. Oh, you got a Jeep Liberty too. Oh my goodness. Mine was silver. God, I miss her. I miss her. Because I'm tell you, what I like about my Jeep Liberty, it was sturdy. And I'm gonna tell you something about my car. I kept it tuned up. I stayed under the hood. I kept the oil changed. And I bought these little tanks. They're little tanks. What they do is because I got into this, I enjoy doing this. It was fun. It was absolutely fun. I suck out the brake fluid and replace it with new brake fluid. You suck it out twice. You suck it out once, drive it around, suck it out twice, drive it around, and then refill it again the third time, and then you leave that in there. Now, the reason why that's cheap to do, I'm trying to get comfortable here. The reason why that's cheaper to do is because um, when you do that, you're not paying a shop person hundreds of dollars to do stuff to your car. So this tank is a pump, and I pumped out the brake fluid, pumped out the oil in it because I said, let me see what it would feel like to pump out this oil without having to go under the vehicle and do all of this and do all that. I just uh, slid it down in the part where you pour the oil in, and I pumped it straight out of there. I put new belts on the car, new hoses on the car. The car was well taken care of. I put brand new brakes on it. I just wanted the car to ride and brake and stop, do what it's supposed to do. But when that guy came out of nowhere and slammed into that car, that's all I remember is he slammed into it. Everything went black, everything. And I'm gonna tell everybody out there that I care about and everything, always wear your safety belts. Always. Because I got in the habit of wearing them for years, and I was like, is it gonna really make a difference if yes it did, because they didn't find me on the outside of the car when it slammed into me. They found me on the inside of the car. Yeah, and those brakes, those belts will hurt certain parts of your body. Because I believe that's how my hip got broke. Is when I slammed sideways, the belt was still on me, and it just cracked my hip. Um, and then my shoulder got broke because a belt that ran across this shoulder here, and it broke my shoulder. Mm. Okay, now I can sit like this. That's better. Where did you? Where did the guy hit you? Oh, he hit me from. He slammed into the front of the car, but it was the driver's side. He hit the front of the car, so he actually slammed into the driver's side door, the tire, and everything. And my feet were was mangled up underneath metal, so my feet was all broken up. They was all broken up. They had to basically put all that back together and reconnect the muscles to the ankles again and all that stuff. Um, and they put me under when I went to the hospital so I wouldn't feel any kind of pain for days. They kept me. I think it's called induced coma or something like that. But it was I was just all messed up. Even the firefighters that rescued me that night said you were pretty bad. We didn't think he was coming back. Once we closed the ambulance door, we didn't think he was coming back. And to hear that from professionals that do that kind of work, to hear that from them, they said you was pretty bad. And it was two of them that said that, but one was a younger guy, and he just told me, yeah, you kind of died on the scene with us. We had to bring you back, and I was like, oh my god, sorry, but I meant happy. Oh, thank you very much. Sorry, but I must go now. Happy New Year. Thank you very much. Now she stopped by. That's all right. But I gotta say that when I get another gardening vehicle, it's going to be because I researched all of them, and it was a young lady at work, and she was telling me she's getting ready to get a vehicle, and I said something to her weird, and she said she didn't understand what I meant. I said, "Are you researching the vehicle you getting ready to get?" She said, yeah," like that, which means she's not because she's not researching it. Most people don't know that it's important to research a vehicle when you get it. It's important to know what kind of track record has this vehicle had, what kind of repair costs is going to be associated with this vehicle, what kind of cost on the insurance is going to be associated with this vehicle, how will it burn fuel. Is it going to be a gobbler with fuel? Because the one I'm getting is a bit of a gobbler with fuel. I already know that, but I'm not worried about it because I deal with the town car, and it's a gobbler of fuel. But it's not too bad, you know. But um, where was I going at with this? Yeah, so I'll be able to get all my garden supplies, no matter what I get, and I will spend less money this year because I keep telling everybody the name of the game is to grow a garden and not spend a lot of money on your garden supplies. Don't do that. It hurts me when people do that, spend about a bunch of money on their garden supplies. Because I used to think that when I first started 20 some odd years ago gardening, that you had to spend a lot of money on garden supplies. You had to buy the best fertilizer, you had to buy the best expensive tools in the yard, you had to buy the most exotic, expensive hoses and everything that was associated with the garden. Then I would get my water bill and I would look and say, oh my gosh, look at it. And here in Maryland, our water is expensive. Our water is expensive. So you just can't bring it out there and just cut it on and just run it for hours on the ground. It's too expensive for that. So what I did was I put in a rain barrel system. So that rain barrel system helps me get the best possible water for my plants. That's what I use. I use the best possible water. I don't use water that's loaded up with all kind of chemicals and chlorine and all that. I don't want that. because that stuff is designed to kill germs and different forms of life. It's designed to do that. So why wouldn't it in turn kill the organisms that are in your soil that help your plants grow? It will kill it and cause your plants to grow extremely slow and cause your plants to suffer from lack of having the right organisms in the soil to help your plant grow. I refuse to do that. I went out there, I got me two big 55-gallon drums. I bought one from a guy that was uh, uh, working at a what's the name of that place called? A car wash, and I got that car that drum for $5, and I cleaned it up and everything, and basically with soap in it, and so I cleaned it up, ran it out so many times, and then I started filling it up with water. But I tell anyone, if you do get those kind of drums, get the food grade ones if you can find them. Get the food grade ones that work with soda companies and things like that. Get those ones because you don't have to actually clean those out. You just build them up to be rain barrel systems. And I did mine. I didn't cut holes all in my rain barrel systems. I did not do that because I didn't want that. And I didn't want a rain barrel system that was all cut out where mosquitoes and all that could get into the rain barrel. I did not do mine like that. Mine was set up where every hole that was in it was used. I put one hole in it about that and feed the line into the drains into there from the gutter. Once I did that, I glued around it so nothing could get in it. And the hole I put on a a system where there's a PVC pipes running in the front. Uh, the all the pipes that connected the drums together. That's how I did it because I put a ball valve in it because they last longer. And every winter comes, I make sure I cut them on low and I empty them out so I don't have them freeze and bust because that's too much work to put them drums back in again. It's too much work. So I got to tell you this like this, folks. It's beautiful to grow food, but don't spend a ton of money growing a few vegetables. Don't do that. That's defeating its purpose. And so when I get the tree cutters come around, I always ask them for the tree cuttings, the chips, and I tell them dump them over here. And I do like food forest permaculture suggested to me. He said, um, let it sit over there for about a year. So you don't take those vines and all that wrapped around your trees. You don't take all of that and dump it back into your garden and grow that stuff all over your garden. You don't want to do that. So I let them stack it up, leave it in that area for about a year, and when it just starts to dry out and starts to degrade, uh, turning into soil, that's when I use it. That's when I use it. And you could grow a lot of stuff when you use wood chips. Wood chips is a fertilizer that's so good, and you won't be out there spending money on buying farm waste, which in the terms of cow manure, chicken manure, worm castings, all that. I don't, I don't feel right buying that stuff. If I want worm castings, guess where I get it from? I take the wood chips that are degraded and I put them around the plants, and the worms will come up through the soil and get it, and they would excrete their waste while they're eating, and those are my worm uh, uh, feces that are be in my soil. And that's how you do that. You don't have to go out and pay somebody that has a worm farm, and he's collecting the droppings for you. And when he's collecting them for you, then he's ready to give you the gold that comes from that. You could actually use your own worms to do that. If that's the case, you have worms. Usually, you have worms in your ground, but when you have these worms in your ground, they don't have much to eat, so they don't reproduce very fast. They don't multiply like they should, and you should have the soil full of all kind of organic matter. And you can get that from wood chips. You can get that from leaves. at the you know, and you can cut the grass and leave the grass clippings on the ground and put them around in your garden. And you know, let me explain something, folks. They tell you a lot of bad things about your weeds that are in your garden. Use those weeds. Use those that the grass cuttings. If you got a lawnmower with a bag on it, use those cuttings. Use them. Pile them up if you want to. Spread them around in your garden. They will feed your soil, and nothing satisfies microorganisms more than organic matter, because that's what they eat, folks. And they make your garden healthier. They make your soil improved. They make it food for your plants to ingest and eat. That's what you want. So remember that when you're out there gardening. Remember that. Get your plants in order and make sure they eat right and they get the proper water. And like I said, from a stream, if you can get it from a stream, if you can get it from rain, you got the best water on earth to take care of your plants. Now, if you have to use the stuff from your house, the water from your house, I just want you to know that it's going to slow down the progress of your plants because you're killing the biology in the soil by using that type of water because it contains chemicals that kills biology that's in your soil. It will kill it. It will slow it down, and it'll keep producing, and then you'll keep hitting it every week and slowing it down again, and it'll speed up again, and you slow it down again. And I don't want to do that. I want my water when I put it out there for it to not hurt anything, and that's how I want it. So that's why I created the rain barrel systems because number one, water is way too expensive to be just water and fruit. I have fruit trees and I have vegetables. I'm going to do the vegetables this year, and I'm not going to be out there in the yard spilling hard-earned money on the ground. I much rather let the rain barrels fill up. Now I got to fix something on my property. It's a pump that goes to that what that thing called? The rain barrels. It's a pump, and I like the pump that I had. I want the exact pump I had before. That pump was 100 psi. I hooked it up to the tanks, and when I hooked it up, I used a 100-foot hose to take care of my garden, and that's how I did that. And that's the name of that tune, folks. Take care of your garden, and you can do it on a cheap. You don't have to. I bought my seeds this year. I told people about that. I bought my seeds early this year, like I do every year. When when I know that when they fill the store up in, well, they have some stores that are filling up right now. I had one of my listeners to inform me that she said her dollar store is already started putting seeds out. Now think about this. This is dead of winter, and they putting out seeds already because they're trying to move that stuff. Um, so I don't buy dollar store seeds, but if that's an option you have, just see how it works for you. But I know that I get my seeds off of eBay, so I buy my seeds off of eBay, and that works for me because I can get seeds in the dead of winter when I can't get them at Home Depot or Lowe's. I get them in the dead of winter. Now, Home Depot will be the first one I found usually will put their seeds out before Lowe's will. They'll put theirs out first. And Home Depot, but you got to ask when you go in there because they'll have them over in a little corner somewhere. And you say, "Oh, the seeds out yet?" Usually around March, and they'll be out. And when they get them out there, you want to get what you're gonna get, and they're gonna be expensive. The seeds are gonna be expensive because of the government changes, and people know that you're trying to grow food to cut out the middleman, which is the grocery store. They know that, and they're gonna bump up the price because a lot of people will not get out there. A lot of people are not going to grow food. I talk to people, and some people tell me, no, that's not my thing. So I say, you much rather spend close to $4 for one tomato. They said, well, that's the only way I can get it. I said, okay. In the meantime, I'll keep eating free tomatoes because when I buy a pack of seeds and get 30 seeds for now that's still high to me. That's still high to me, but it's um almost $2. I get 30 seeds, which means for my situation, I only need about if that four plants. Four plants is all I need. With the tomatoes I get the really big boy tomatoes. But they got all kind of variety of tomatoes, on eBay if you want them, all kind. They got the Cherokee Purple. I like those. They taste real good. Um, but tomatoes, you got to be caring when you grow tomatoes. You just don't throw the seeds out there and the thing and you say, oh, there it is, and it grows a vine because you're only gonna get one or two or three or four or five tomatoes maybe if you get that. But what you want to do is you want to feed them properly, you want to water them properly, and you want to give them the right kinds of food to eat so that they'll be able to keep producing. There are certain other things you must do to tomatoes, like certain pruning techniques you're going to use. So when you prune tomatoes, they produce more tomatoes. Did you know that? Some of you knew that. They produce more. Oh, Creek Walker, how you doing? God darn it, done slipped in the room. I didn't even see you. Let's see. My local Lowe's has them out now. God darn it. That's what I'm talking about. People put that information out there and they ain't doing nothing but helping themselves and helping other people and helping me. I appreciate that because they put it out there. He said they got their seeds out now. And that's amazing. Up here, what is it right now? December? Still December? No, it's okay. No, it's not December. I correct that, but it's still winter. It's in the dead of winter. That's what I like to call it. Dead of winter, and they got their seeds out. Now that's a new one on me. And see that with me walking around with this cane, I can't really see the cane right here. I can't really get around the stores like I want to, because that long walk in those big stores is knocks me out. But I will say this: good work, Creek Walker. Good work. Put that message out there. Let's see what this is. Seeds are out. Okay, seeds are out. I say this is in. Okay. Oh my goodness, he put a message out there. He actually. I got to tell you something, folks. I bought mine at eBay because I just wanted to get it out of the way. Then you got Johnny Seeds. They sent me an email because they said get it from him because he buys seeds. I've never bought from Johnny Seeds because I'm not. The only thing I don't like from Johnny Seeds is two things. Two things I don't like from Johnny Seeds. Number one, they genetically do things to their seeds that improve on yields and all that, but they call hybrids. And I'm not familiar with using these new hybrids. So I don't use these new hybrids. The other thing is Johnny C's and what's it, Burpees? Burpees? I'm not sure that there's other seed companies out there and they sell the plants. They're the ones that put the plants out at Lowe's and Home Depot. Those plants, last time I went there 2 years ago, was $5 a plant. I can't do that. I saved some seeds this year and I can't find them. They call Big Johnny. They're Big Johnny seeds. Or is it Big John? Big Johnny. No, Big Johnny seeds. Yeah. And it's elongated, a variety of chili pepper that's big. And I wanted them and I got them. But when I saved the seeds, I can't find them. And they got to be in my seed container, but there's so many seeds in there, I got to go back through them and look again and see if I can find them. Where are they? But they're there. They're in a pack, and they got the label on them and the date when I put them in there. Yeah, yep. So I'm gonna just say it like this, folks. Johnny seeds are expensive. They just are. Are they good seeds? If people like them, um, then that's fine. But they're expensive. They are expensive. I get my seeds. I buy heirloom seeds because I want to reuse the seeds the next year. So if I grow peppers, I grow them to maturity, and then I remove the seeds. And then when I remove the seeds are now used for growing the exact same plant. Again, the exact same plant. Do you know what I'm saying? The exact same plant. And that's what I want. Can all of you see me? Can you see me clearly? I hope you can see me clearly. Okay, let's see now. Oh, Barney's. Barney's. Okay, Barney seeds. That's the seed. That's the seed I was trying to think about. Barney seeds. Well, Barney seeds where quality is their job one. Let me stop. I'm just having fun. But I will say this, folks. I'm all set to go. I went through my seeds. I decided on what do I want to plant. I decided. So everything all set to go. How about you? Are you set? Have you collected any seeds yet? Have you went through your seeds, checking and seeing if those are ones I want to plant? Because this year I got a feeling, and I've been talking about this for years. Food is going to get pricey. It already was pricey, but I believe it's going to get crazy. Stuff we'll be able to tell our kids about, grandkids about. Oh, thank you. You do see me clearly. Thank you. And so that being said, let me get that apple there. Here we go. Let me stop. I'm just feeling good because I got to figure out how to buy this vehicle before the weather gets bad. I want this vehicle, and it's a Chevy. Wait a minute, what did I say it was? Oh, I can't think of the name of the vehicle. But anyway, I digress. Uh, Tahoe. Yeah, that's it. Chevy Tahoe. That's the vehicle I'm getting. And I hope that this guy is selling this vehicle that's decent and everything works on it and it's not all crazy. Because I don't want it if it's got rusty a bottom. I don't want it if it's got I said rusty bottom. If it's leaking oil and all kind of fluids underneath, I don't want it. But when I looked at it um, in the ad, which they have, they put on the internet, it's all clean and pretty looking and everything. It's a 2012, and I want that model. I want that particular model. It's going to be easy to work on. If I need to do anything to it, it's going to be easy to work on. I looked at the Carfax. It's never been an accident. I asked them to get back to me. I said I want to find out how many owners this car has had because if you had 4 and 5 and 6 owners, the car has been dogged basically. Let me see. Barney's friends are. Yeah, they are expensive. I said I agree that somebody can get multiple plants from one seed pack. That's it. That's the deal right there. You said it right there, Creep Walker. You said it right there. You said it right there because I want to get seeds that once I buy from this guy or this lady, I don't ever have to buy again. I'm gonna tell you something. What I did, I bought seeds from okra. maybe 6 years ago, maybe longer than that. They were called spineless okra. I don't plan on buying any more in my lifetime. I don't plan on buying anymore. I got all the seeds I need. And all I do is every so often, I'll plant the spineless okra for eating purposes and for saving seeds. And I'll take the seeds, uh, let them go all the way to maturity. The ones I'm gonna keep, let them go all the way to maturity. And then once that happens, with one plant, I'll let it go. I'll let that plant, I'll get some food off of it, but I'll let this next time it produce to go all the way to maturity when it gets 7 to 8 inches long and dry out, and I bring them in the house and I take them all out of their packs, and then I date them and put the year on them and everything like that. And those are my supply. I do the same thing with peppers. You could do the same thing with cucumbers. You can do the same thing with squash. You get 1 or 2 pieces on there, or how many ever you need, and you let them stay on there to all the way to maturity, all the way, and then you take those and you use them. When they dry out, you use them and use them for you got fresh seeds. And another benefit you get from saving your own seeds is your seeds get familiar or adaptive to your soil. Once that happens, you put them in the soil. They don't have to familiarize themselves with the soil. They don't have to adjust to your soil. They already adjusted. They grew in that soil, and that's what you want. So I'm happy. Now, when I get this vehicle to be able to do this stuff in the yard, I want to be. I'll be able to. It's big enough to put a lawnmower inside if I need to take it somewhere. If I need to take tools out to get them repaired or anything like that, there's enough room in the vehicle for that. Um, but I never bought from a dealership before, so I'm wondering how that's going to go because I know when I roll up in there, he got one price on the window that he's asking for the vehicle. But when you go there, I understand some of the dealerships. I'm understanding that they go chuck a lot of other extra stuff on for that vehicle. The cost of this, you need what the other thing called you need all these warranties. You need to pay. He told me it's just $250 for the paperwork. And I'm thinking, why am I paying for paperwork? I don't need the paperwork. You need the paperwork. But I digress. I want to get this vehicle, and I want to pay the minimum amount. So what I'm doing, I'm going on eBay, no, not eBay, YouTube, and I'm looking up how to buy a vehicle from a dealership, and I'm gathering that information. So when he called me Monday, this Monday coming up, and he goes over stuff with me, I'm not lost. I'm not saying, what? I'm not just answering questions I'm not familiar with or know what he's saying. I want the bottom line price for the vehicle without paying an arm and a leg. I want the vehicle. I don't want him to add all kind of hidden costs. Or if he say things to me like, "Yeah, you got to pay this, you got to pay that, taxes and title and tags," and I don't want nothing to get crazy where I'm saying, "Wait a minute, what's going on here?" Now he told me that when I take it home, I'll have a temporary tag on it. All right, and then I know I got to go mess with the Department of Motor Vehicles to get the permanent tags and all of that good stuff. So that means that I got to find out from my old insurance company the car that I was in that was totaled, that's sitting in a salvage yard with my tags on it, been sitting there for a year. Um, am I paying for that? Um, because I shouldn't be paying for that. Why you have the car insured if it's sitting in a salvage yard, totaled? Because you got the information on the vehicle with the time of the accident. So you know my vehicle is totaled. They had to cut me out of it. It's totaled. So why are you still charging me for this? So that's why I stand at on that. So I got to figure out how they trying to rip me for that because they should say he shouldn't be paying for this vehicle because it's in the salvage yard. It's been in there for a year. He doesn't owe for this. So my lawyer said he was gonna help me out on that. He said, we'll take care of the stuff dealing with the with the car that's totaled. Hello, how you doing? Food Forest Permaculture. Ladies and gentlemen, if you ever go to his page, go there. Some of you already know about him. Check him out. You got Creek Walker, check him out. I mean, check these people out because they are a lot of good, valuable information on gardening and farming. Go there because that's what they do. They've been doing it for years, and they're not gonna steer you wrong. So go ahead on in there and look at my where you got the comments at and get their information and go see them. Check them out. I'm not the only good site out here. You got Food Forest Permaculture out there. He'll make you think because he'll be like he'll tell you some stuff. You say, wait a minute. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. He remind you of things, stuff I forgot about. He remind you of it, and you go, oh yeah, that's right. Because it's like I got trees in my yard, and he's been going on with some of them 4 or 5 years, and they have not produced any fruit. But at least I now know why. And now, I got this one cherry tree in my yard, which I really like the cherry tree. It has, oh my goodness, I just thought of something. There's a tree that I tried to get. It's called a pomegranate tree. And I messed up because, um, I kept trying to buy stuff that was so close to the zone. Like I put in a plant. It said globe grapes, and the lowest zone it's supposed to go to is zone 7. And then I bought another plant that was zone 7, said hardy kiwi. Hardy kiwi grew beautifully for years. It grew beautifully, and then one cold winter we got here in Maryland, got down about 6 degrees. The hardy kiwi died. It died. Broke my heart because it took me so long and so much effort to get it up and going. First, the plant kept dying back, then it got bigger, and then it got real nice and it was growing. I said, okay, I'm past that stage. The plant's been in the ground for 2 years. It's growing vines all over the place. It's pretty when the spring comes. It gets all these white blossoms on them. And each year it produced tiny little pieces of fruit because it was just getting mature enough to start producing. And I said, all right. And they said the plant could produce hundreds of pounds of fruit a year. But here's the problem. It got down to 6 degrees one night and it killed it. Now, I found a pomegranate tree that pomegranate is a tree that could get down into zone 5. So that I should be fine because I'm in zone 7B. I should be fine. So I want to buy that tree, but everything's frozen outside. So I'm thinking of, and you tell me what you think about this Food Forest Permaculture. I could buy the tree now because if I wait to spring, then I'm gonna have the tree. I could buy the tree, put it in a pot, put it near the window, water it, feed it, and take care of it until spring comes. And then when spring comes, I can put it in the ground because it's bought as a what's that called when you buy a tree and it's not potted. It's in a oh, I can't think of it right now. God, I worked last night and I'm tired. Um, but it's a tree and it doesn't have any soil on it, so it's just basically a tree that's been put to sleep until they get ready to do what they got to do with it. Let's see. Yes, match your zone and find it growing in your location. Okay. I got it. Food Forest Permaculture. Find it growing in your location. I said, when is it get cold? They need a shelter okay, like a okay blanket. I tried putting sheets over, but that wasn't enough one time. Just a sheet, and the wind blew the sheets away, and I came out there, sheets was all over the yard, and I was like, okay, that's not good. That is a great idea. Box plant. Yeah, yeah. Yes, get it bigger to plant in the ground. Okay, okay, get it bigger than plant in the ground. Spring, I am going. Yeah, because look, let me tell you something. I found a a site that grows. I mean, excuse me, not grow. They sell trees, but they sell all kinds of pomegranate trees. And I said, I want this. And then I have a little money on board, and I have some plant medium in the house, and I have uh, what they call that thing, a bucket or no, a pot, and I have it near a window that could give it sunlight. I could keep it alive until spring comes in, and then put it outside. And I'm still thinking of that name of that plant. What they call it? You grow a plant, and then you put it to sleep, and then you sell it just is a rooted plant that doesn't have a pot. I can't think of the name of it right now. I can't believe that. I said woolly blankets is a great shielded. Okay, all right, wool blankets. I just don't get. No, I don't have any wool blankets. No, but I have blankets, and I used a sheet that time. I couldn't believe I did that. Um. Okay. Okay. Oh, what I want to do there. Hold on for a second, folks. Thank you. Had to get some water. I've been talking for a few minutes here, and you got to have water. Okay, there we go. So the pomegranate tree that I'm interested in grows in Russia, and it's designed or bred for being in cold climates. That is what I'm looking for. That is what I'm looking for. There it is, right there. Wills. I can't do what? No. Let me see something here. If I can get it there. Will's Orchard. That's on my phone, man. There's a pomegranate plant. Will's Orchard, and I want that plant. Why do I want that plant? Now, even though it's a standard plant and grows big, I still want it because it will grow um, a big tree, but I can keep it down because this tree is not a dwarf tree. Ergo, or should I say Virgo, it's fine to grow. Let's see, large. Let's see, lights to help stop the cold under. Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. Yeah, Christmas lights, Xmas lights, they will help keep the trees warm. It get cold. Okay, I got you. All right, let me see what I got here. Uh, food, forest permaculture. get. Yeah, because I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that pomegranate tree. Because I had to cut it. I had to cut a tree down one time because here's what they did. I bought it from this tree store that sold. What did they sell? They sell trees that were $10. They're not around anymore. Needless to say, they're not around anymore because what they sold you was a tree. Hey, let me see what this says. He wrote here. You must adapt. I say get the tree. It's easy. Keep it alive is another thing. Okay, I'm with you on that. Food forest because I'm with you on that. Getting trees is an easy thing. Keeping it alive is another thing. Um, but what do you think about my idea of keeping it in the house near a window to get sunlight and keep it taken care of, watered and fed and that sort of thing. Um, and then when the weather breaks, start introducing it to the outdoors, and then that way I have the genetics ready to go, put it in the ground and let it grow. Um, but it said the tree is good all the way down to zone 5, and I'm in zone 7B, so it's actually warmer here than zone 7B. I mean, than 5B. Yeah. Well, zone 5, excuse me, zone 5. So that's what I want. I want the genetics. Now, to get the one that you see in the grocery stores, usually the pomegranate, which is uh, oh God, what's the name of that pomegranate? Uh, I think it's called. No, it's not called Tasty. It's I can't think of the name of it. Um, but it's the one you usually see in the grocery store. That one it lowers temperature. The zone it'll work well in is zone 7, but uh, I don't want to get one that close to that area. Okay. Here's what I need to correct myself on something here. The one I just told you about, it says zone map. It said grows in zone 6 and zone 10. So it has zone 6-10. Now that says to me that it will grow in a colder zone than zone 7. That's where I understand it. If I'm wrong, somebody correct me, but I believe I'm right. So that's all I'm saying is I want to make sure I got all the trees I want. And I'm gonna tell you something about pomegranates. Here in Maryland, they're $4 a piece. Um, they're $4 a piece for that particular one that I was talking about earlier. Now these are this is called Wilson Orchard Company, and they're online. And I don't know how close they are to you, but they're online, so you might want to look into them. I don't work for them, or I'm not advertising for them or anything like that. Let's see. See, it grows in zone 7. No, grown. Look at the post morning garden. Just look at it, and then make your statement. Okay. Okay. I had to remind myself of that. It grows in zone 6 and 10. Yeah, that's what it said. That's what it said. So, ergo or Virgo, it grows in zone 7 because the colder zone is 6, 7 being somewhere closer to the middle. It should grow well here. That's my take on it. Let's see. So I need that plant. Now, one plant that I did get, um, I put it in my yard. I wish I knew where I put it at. It was a kiwi. It's called a hardy kiwi. Because I bought two different kind of kiwis. Isaiah was one that died, but the other one I bought from Home Depot, and that particular kiwi, I don't remember where I put it in the yard. After I got hurt in the car, I was I was in the hospital for months. I don't remember where I put anything in the yard. I didn't mark it when I put it in there clear enough. I don't know, but I'll see when I get out there. But yeah, I want to make sure. Hardy kiwi, I put it in the yard. Yeah, I put it in the yard. But where would I put it at? And it would be nice if I would have put a nice little stake beside it, marking it where I put it at. Because I got to go in my yard and clean everything up. I got to clean everything up in my yard. All the weeds have a job in my yard. I do not get rid of weeds. I let them do something for me. If I cut them back, I use them to create all kind of um, benefits for my crops. I use the weeds to create all kind of food for my plants. I use the weeds, I use the grass, I use all of that. When I cut my tree dead limbs off, whatever, I take them and I grind them up in the grinder, and I use them as mulch. And I'm gonna tell you something. Before I went in the hospital, I didn't understand it. I came in the house and saw a trim, not a trimmer, but a mulcher or something, whatever they call it. I found that, and I said, "Wait a minute, I did order that." I said, "Wow," and I actually put it. It's one of my tools now. It's not a big heavy duty one. It's an electric one, but it'll do what I need it to do. And then I will use all that mulch instead of going to the store buying bags of mulch for $4 and $5 and $6 a bag. I can put that around my trees to keep the moisture in that location so that they have good water supply in the hot days of summer. Put them around my crops so they have a water supply for the hot days of summer, and keep the soil at a moderate temperature around those roots. Ergo, or as I said earlier, Virgo, it's going to be a fun thing to do. To work smart, not hard, when it comes to your garden. To work smart and not hard, because you can work yourself to death in the garden. You get a 90-degree day out there and you start out there working. Some people till up their garden. Some people hoe their garden. I try not to do any of that. I take a lawnmower out there and I bag up that stuff and use it. People say, "Look at him. He got." I used to ask my neighbors for the bags of grass that didn't use any chemicals on their grass. I used to ask them for it. Say, I know my township has a place where you can get wood chips. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah, that's a good thing. But what I do uh, is I got on my phone a place that they cut everywhere throughout the city of Baltimore in Maryland, and they'll bring the wood chips to you. They'll bring them to you. Back the truck up on your property and drop them right where you say drop them at. But see, I have a tricky yard. I got a wire across my yard. The truck is hard for him to get it up there without hitting that wire. If he got to be watching it. One person got to spot him while he's up there lifting it. He got to spot him. And then when they dump it, they got to dump it in a certain location. I would like to have them dump it closer to my actual garden, but they can't do that because the ground over there where they be working at, it stays kind of wet in that one area. Let's see who this is. Somebody hit my phone. Mm. Pomegranate tree. I got money right now if I want to spend and get this tree right now. I just thought of that. But I said food, farms, permaculture. You got Creek Walker, and food farms, permaculture. Get the tree, get it. So I'm like, okay. I said, to bring it in the house would be easy, just to bring it in, water it, and take care of it. I don't have any cat or dog in the house that'll knock it over or anything like that. I'm gonna water that tree. But if any of you can think of, hey, if any of you ever bought car from a vehicle from a dealership, and you get there, I mean, how did that work out? Did they mark everything up? Did they add all kind of cost onto it? Because see, my thing is, I want to buy this vehicle, but I'm in a tough spot because I got my tags to the other vehicle still in the yard. I think I better take care of that first and find out how this is going to work, because I don't need to go to the insurance company and say, "Oh, I need tags for this too," and they say, "Okay, but the other tags you're still going to be charged for, even though you're getting this new vehicle or another vehicle, because it's not new. It's 2012, and I want the vehicle. I looked at it. I said it's beautiful. Um, Now, if I look underneath of it and it's right, and if I listen to it run and that engine is, because I take care of my engines. I cannot have a car or a truck with an engine that's running halfway. I don't like that. Okay. So good people, before I goes, buy your seeds if you get them. Now you might save some money on them. I saved money on mine. I bought mine. I only bought it like three types of seeds this year, because I have plenty of seeds, and I bought the seeds because I said, well, get them now, because when spring comes, you're not gonna have no negotiating room at all to buy any plants, any trees, any seeds. You're not gonna have none. They're gonna charge you what they charge you, and that's gonna be crazy. So on that note, good people, thank you so much, and I'm gonna look back at this video and see how clear I am, that you can see me, because I put the lighting in a different situation where I hope that it looks better. All right, take care now. This has been the Morning Gardener, and you keep on keeping on gardening. That is, yeah.